Hello, welcome to Pasha's Film Reviews. We highlight independent films or underrated gems that didn't receive the recognition they deserve. Today is a special issue where we talk about Japanese Film Festival. Now, if you live in Melbourne like I do, it means that you can go to film festivals all year long. For example, the year usually kicks in with French Film Festival, then we get Spanish Film Festival, Jewish, German, Swedish, International Film Festival, then Korean, then Italian, then British, Indian Film Festival, and usually the year ends up with Japanese Film Festival. So this year we're going to pick up 3 films from a rather large program. We picked up drama, action, and it wouldn't be a Japanese Film Festival without animation film. So let's see how we go this week. Let's go. We start with Intolerance, a profoundly moving Japanese drama about a father who loses his daughter in an accident and how he learns to love her the way she should have been loved when she was alive. This is the story of a small town where simple tragedy rocks everyone's world and affects everyone. Young girl goes to the shop, shoplifts, runs out of the shop. Shop manager follows her out of the shop, and unfortunately the girl gets in an accident. She's being hit by a car and she dies immediately. So he begins the journey of everyone involved. The young man who works in a supermarket and who followed the girl outside. Journey of the father who was never close to his daughter while she was alive and now starts to learn what she was like, and little by little fall in love with her all over again. About her mother who is waiting for another baby, who remarried and struggles to see what future has in store. The girl who were behind the wheel when the accident occurred struggles to continue living basically after what had occurred. And the main focus is of course on the conflict between the father and the shop manager who followed the girl outside of the shop, and basically community and everyone, media including, believes that he really caused this accident and blame him for the death of the young girl. This is a very small film with great focus on detail. It's profoundly moving, and I guarantee if you stick with it, it will touch you the way films do when they really speak to you, directly speak to you, and allow you to fall in love with the characters and fall in love with the story. It is really underrated sort of drama that we really want to talk about on this blog. Great acting ensemble, and it will change you. It will change you if you allow it. This is one of the films that will affect you, or not affect you as much, but it will all depend on your involvement with the story and how you allow this film to become part of you, I guess, a part of your experience. It's slow, it focuses on small details, but it takes you into this small world of a seaside community where nothing really ever happens, and when it does, it blows everyone's mind. So please watch this film, probably the best film for me I saw during this film festival, and I guarantee you won't regret it. Japanese are obsessed with cute girls with guns, and this had been an evolving trend in modern anime and feature films. But Baby Assassins, next film we're going to talk about, is more interested in how young people move into adult life, take on part-time job responsibility of living separately from their parents, which is a big problem in Japan, where kids very often just decide to stay home forever and play computer games. Anyway, the film is focused on two very different girls who are actually very successful assassins. To assassinate people is what they actually love to do most in life. However, time comes for them to rent an apartment and try on adult life. And as a cover-up, of course, they have to have a job, or at least a part-time job, to show the world that they actually, you know, paying for their lives, not with murder, but like every other well-respected Japanese citizen, a part of the very traditional society. So they're hopeless at everything else but killing, and when they cross paths with a mafia boss, and it becomes very personal, a confrontation ensures, but this confrontation is really not the focus. The focus is how on earth are we going to coexist in this small apartment together, two very different girls who only know how to fight and murder people. This film is not extremely funny. I mean, there's unique Japanese humor that I guess works really well for Japanese people, and for those who know Japanese cinema and anime culture well. However, film takes again a long time to develop. The last 30 minutes are absolutely fantastic and worth the wait. It's a very small film, very small budget. There's no amazing set pieces. It's violent but not over the top. So as a standalone independent film with some really cool action and some really unique take on assassins, I would recommend it. And if you at some point think, you know, maybe it's not for me, just wait for it. The last 30 minutes are absolutely incredible. As I mentioned before, it wouldn't be a Japanese film festival without anime. I'm a big fan of Japanese animation. I've been watching it since I was a child, and I think no one makes animation as well as Japanese. So this is a very unusual film based on a manga. It's a very short 5-volume manga, so it really has a really good focus story arc, which will make, I think, a very focused script for a film, and it really works as a film because some mangas, you know, spanning 30-40 volumes, they just don't go as a standalone feature movie. Film called Blue Thermal. This is about a young girl who wants to start student life, who just wants to move on out of her mother's apartment and live independently. And here it is, she finds a hobby, and her hobby is gliding. Through gliding, she meets lots of interesting people, she makes friends, and it turns out she's very successful because she can feel the wind, the air. Somehow she's got natural talent for flying in a gliding plane. So she finds her métier, so to speak, her calling, and this is very interesting how her relationship with people around her evolves. There's no much action. There's no much sort of extreme situation, set pieces, anything like that. It is very soft, tranquil, and somewhat energetic film about finding your calling and finding a way to enjoy life away from home, and it's really is a bit of coming of age film, I guess, but it's got the most wonderful 2D animation, very similar to Porco Rosso, my favorite Hayao Miyazaki film. You get lots of flying. I think it's wonderful to see it on the big screen. The sky, the land, the trees, everything is just, you really feel like you're flying. It really carefully develops to interesting finale, which is not action filled but very effective, and it makes you feel both warm, sad, and happy, only the way Japanese cinema, this atmosphere can create, really. So at the end of the day, it's a slice of life film, very unusual for a festival, because they really focus on big manga adaptations, something that, you know, brings crowds to the cinema. This very low-key, small film about relationships. There's no love story per se, but there is great chemistry between the characters. It completely, most important thing about this film, completely takes you away from daily life as much as it humanly possible, and this is why I thoroughly recommend this film to anyone who's going to go and see Japanese Film Festival this year. So here we are. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm going to put the link for the program of Japanese Film Festival in comments underneath, so in description underneath. So please check it out and download and see as many films as possible. It is my favorite festival of the year, just after French Film Festival, I have to admit. So I really recommend it. Anyway, I hope I'll see you next week, and please like and subscribe, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.